following program is intended for a mature listening audience. Graphic and explicit language may be heard at times. The views expressed and opinions given by the individual hosts and their guests do not necessarily express those of this station or sponsors. Listeners are advised that neither the station nor owners and agents will be held liable for the content of this program. Rebroadcast, redistributed, or reused without the express written permission without the host or producer is not allowed. You are listening to Family Spirit International.
Hey, everybody. Hey, Blaine, you see who's wanting to see you, right?
Hello, Luna, baby. Hello, everybody. Thank y'all for being here on a Monday night. Man, y'all mean the world to us. And then my little sweet little Luna Tuna over there.
Yeah, she was looking up for you. I said, yeah, she knows the music started. She's going to see Uncle Blaine. Oh, Lord.
She gets so happy. It makes me happy seeing her.
Yes. Hey, Thomas, thanks for joining us tonight. You guys start sending some messages around. It's time for the show. Hey, Brandon, what's up, big man?
Hey, Thomas. I'm just jumping on to say, hey, Thomas.
Hey, Thomas. Hey.
But yeah, we got a good guest for us. She's a friend of ours. We've known, me and Lee have known probably 10 or 11 years now.
Yes.
We'll let her explain how she knows us two crazy people.
Yes.
But yeah,
so
she's cool.
We're still continuing our Tell Me Your Ghost Story series. Mm-hmm. And so I'm just really excited about having people on here and, the origin stories of how all this, took place, what make them take the paranormal turn into a new reality. So, it's going to be a lot of fun to talk with Sherry. She's a nurse and a paranormal investigator. So without further ado, let's bring her in. Blaine, you think we ought to do that? Okay, here we go. Here she is. Hey, Sherry.
Hey, Sherry.
Hi.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate being here.
We're so glad to have you. Tell everybody how you met me and Lee.
Oh my gosh. It was probably when my child was in middle school, and she's now 22. She just turned 22.
Gosh.
I know. Made you guys feel old, didn't it?
Yes.
But we met at Sloss Furnaces, and that was my very first paranormal investigation. And I was hooked from meeting you guys from that point on. And it was the most amazing thing I could have ever asked for in my entire life. I needed a lot of closure. I needed a lot of clarity, and I needed to hear the things that I heard. So
yeah. And what was cool about it when I first was, I'm the type of person when I go to a Paracon or an event, I go by and meet everybody. And Lee does the same thing. And you were sitting there with your friend, you just looked so lost, both of you, like, what?
Completely lost.
What have I got myself into? This is crazy. And then me and Scott Dotson come up and started talking to you, and Lee and Matt came over and talked to you too.
Yes.
Like you told me, she said, nobody but you guys actually come and said a word to us. I said, I don't know why. Well, I know why I do it, because I love the excitement that you have, because this might be your first event or your first investigation. And I want to try to make it as special for you, because you spent money to come down there,
Exactly.
I wanted you to get your money's worth and to learn about the paranormal field for some people that have done it for a long time. And it was so cool. You got to tell them what happened when we were in the
car. So I just met all of you guys. I just met all of you guys like previously 10 minutes prior to doing this.
That's right. And now we're in the bowels.
And you don't know my name. You don't know my history. You don't know anything about me, where I'm from. As we're sitting there, and Scott and Blaine and you, we're all there. And
Mhm.
so we're doing an EVP session, and Blaine starts asking, you know, because I had lost my mom and dad to cancer, and I don't have any family left. And I was so curious to explore this side of the paranormal just so I could get some closure and some affirmations of what I was feeling. Growing up where I grew up, you don't tell your children you love them. They know. You know, your parents are just proud of you, and you're just supposed to know. I'm an only child, but as we're sitting there, I have this video. Lee, I have this video of Blaine, and he's sitting there talking. He does not touch anything, by the way. He will never, never, ever touch anything. And so as we're sitting there, he starts asking questions. And one of our dear friends, Jamie Dotson, was also there that I met that night. And I love her dearly. But as we're sitting there, Blaine is asking these questions for me. And he's asking, you know, asking my mom if she's proud of me, and asking her. And so we're hearing all these different voices come through. And so at this point, I'm thinking, what is this? You know, this is my very first actual experience. And it's pitch black. I'm with these people I just met 10 minutes ago. We're in Alabama. I don't know where I'm at. We're in the bowels, as you said, of Sloss Furnace. And so as we're sitting there talking, Blaine is talking for me because he was so kind to take that upon himself, because he knew I was terrified, pretty much.
Yes.
I mean, it's a humongous deal. And as I am 50 years old, I'm wanting to know, you know, are my mom and my dad proud of me? Are they proud of who I've become? Are they proud of what I've done? And so it was very sentimental and very just touching for me to hear the things that I heard. As we're sitting there, Blaine asked, he said, so Miss Meeks, and he doesn't know at this point in time that her name was Jen. Her name was Virginia, but everyone called her Jen. My dad's name was Dewey, but everybody called him Red. Blaine didn't know this. He had no idea. No idea. So as we're sitting there listening and talking, he hears Jen and Red come through on the EVP.
Oh my gosh.
And then as we continue to talk, he says, so what did you call your girl when you were mad at her? And which, like I said, he would not even know this. Very few people know this. But and then she didn't answer. She didn't respond. And then all of a sudden he's like, well, she's not going to call you that because she's not mad at you. And she goes, nope.
Oh. Oh.
Lee, when I tell you that I heard that nope, and I immediately started crying.
You knew it was Mama.
That was Mama, and it just, I'm just going to say that touched my heart so much. And then he asked, he said, so what do you call her? And she goes, Gina. My name is Sherry Regina.
Oh.
And Mom called me Gina. And so he's like, well, she's not going to call you that because she's not mad at you. And she just kept saying, nope, nope. And he then said, he said, are you proud of her and who she became? And she said, yeah, yep. And Lee, when I tell you, it was Mom's voice, and she had passed in 2006. Yeah, I'm gonna cry. And Dad passed in 1998, and I'm an only child.
Oh, honey.
So
Oh, I feel you. Yes.
so Blaine gave me so much that night, so much more than I could ever imagine. And I can't make this up. That was her voice. That was Dad's voice, and it was just amazing, amazing. It was the greatest thing I think I'd ever experienced since they had passed, and I owe Blaine so much for that.
Have
And I
you
have
heard
that.
from them since?
Oh yes, yes, I have.
See, it's a learning experience for you and for them, right? Blaine
So
has got that ability.
he
His
does.
his kindness is as powerful as his wrath, because I've seen him get mad at spirits that are doing very, very naughty things, and
Yes, yes,
and both sides of that is just pretty remarkable.
yes. I absolutely agree with that. I've actually heard him call on his warriors, and I've actually heard him call on his spirits to get rid of the negativity and the bias that is around us.
Yes,
But
yes.
for me to just meet him, and in 10 minutes, he's given me my mom and my dad back from 1998 and 2006. I cannot make that up. He didn't know me. I'm a little old country girl from Tennessee. You know?
Yeah, but he felt you. He felt you. He knew what you needed to, why you were there and everything. I know Blaine. I know exactly what you're talking about with him, because I've seen him do it so many times. I watched him totally blow away Andrea Perrin at the Paracon. I've watched him in a make everybody crack up in a prison.
Yep.
So he had some crazy stuff happening there. Yeah, he's pretty righteous. He's a lot of fun.
He is a lot of fun, but yeah,
Only thing about Blaine is he's allergic to bullshit.
Oh, big time. Big time. That and stupid
Yep.
people. Yeah.
Yeah, Lord. Yeah. Stupidity and stupid people are two different things. Stupidity
Yeah.
is, you know better.
Yeah.
You know better.
Well,
Yeah.
what was funny too, that night we were doing the thing with Sherry at Sloss, they had the spirit come through, and it was an ornery bastard. I mean, he was ornery.
it was bad.
He kept trying to overtalk her mom and dad. And he had no reason. He wouldn't even belong in there. He just showed up because we were on a ghost box session.
Yeah.
And he kept cussing at me. I said, dude, one more time. I said, that's your last warning. Then
That was it. Genoa, come on in.
Really? Play with me? Oh my God. This dude's like trying to dog cuss me, and I called Genoa, and all I said was wolf. And you hear right over the ghost box, you hear my wolf go. You hear the guy go, I said, you rolling plate? And I heard wolf, and I heard wolf. And he stopped. But yeah.
And that was it.
I will definitely have to send
Sherry
you.
was like, her jaw was dropped. It's like, oh,
So
she's got video of it. It's funny.
I still have the video.
Yeah,
yes, I do.
I got to come back and talk to mom. Oh, and I watch it every time it pops up on Facebook, and I still get.
I do too.
I knew that I got to heal you and heal your mom and dad because they needed closure too. And for
You see
you
what,
to hear, yeah.
Look at the comment. Do you see it, Blaine? Blaine is my spirit animal.
Thanks, Thomas. That's my brother.
Oh,
I just had to show you that. It's so funny.
But yeah,
I love it, Blaine.
I got so excited because not only I got to help you that weekend, I got to help another friend of mine that weekend too. His sister had died, and he was taking care of her son. And this is like, we've all been to Sloss, and a lot of times spirits won't stop talking, but for you, they did for a little bit, and I made the other guy stop. Then they let them keep talking. Well,
Right.
My buddy was there, and I got his sister to come through. And I knew as soon as she spoke the first word, Jerry looked right at me and went, How do you do that?
Oh, I
You
forgot
remember
about
Jerry?
Jerry.
Yeah,
Yes, Jerry and I are still friends. Yes,
right on. Yeah,
absolutely.
Very
and
cool.
and I got him to talk to his sister. He got closure, and Jerry's a big guy, and he's a manly man, but it
He
brought him
is.
to tears because
He
he was
is.
so excited because his sister, I mean, knew right away that was his sister's voice. Told him some things he needed to hear, told
Hmm.
him some things about her son, how how she wanted him to make sure he was always taken care of. To this day, Jerry still has her son and raises him as his own. Now, he's a special needs kid. He's very autistic. Uh, cool kid though. I mean, he's just awesome kid. And so I got to help them. Then I got to help. Now I get tickled for this though. Lee's son at the time was about the same age as Kiki, around 11 or 12.
Ah,
And we had these big old dudes thought that they were remember the football players that got when they got touched, they got scared
yes.
and left. And
Yes.
I'll never forget this. Her son Elijah was like, "Stand behind me, I'll protect you." And I, I'm dying laughing. Lee's dying laughing. And, they thought they were so badass. Oh, ain't nothing going to scare me here. And that one dude got touched, and I heard this guy scream like louder than any little girl I've ever heard in my life. I
I
mean,
did
his voice dropped like 4 different octaves. We're laughing, Lee's laughing, and Elijah's got this shit grin on his face. He's like, "I told you I'd protect him."
I met so many great people that night, and you guys have become lifelong friends, and I love you all dearly.
Oh, loves
Like I
back.
said, it's been such a blessing for me to come and see you guys and to
Oh
actually
yeah,
meet you and to
and
learn more.
I
I
thought
mean,
it was so cool because once you got over your fear of being
mm-hmm,
there, you were hell
mm-hmm.
bent and ready to go because we were doing box sessions and stuff, playing with lasers, and Sherry was like asking questions, like, "All right, who's touching me? Why are you touching me?" And then you can see it. Like Lee walks into the room with
Mm-hmm.
us, and you can see her black out the laser for a second, and then she sits down. And as soon as she sits down, the shadow comes right back on that back wall. Nobody's
Mm-hmm.
standing, and Sherry's like, "Do y'all see that?" I'm like, "Everybody saw that."
But it was just so interesting to not have ever even been around any of that equipment before
Yeah,
and to be able to actually hear my parents' voices
yeah.
after all that time. I can never, ever repay you guys for
No,
any of that.
and you know what you owe
Eh,
us? Nothing. That's
not a
what I did
thing.
that out of pure love
I know you
because
did.
I know you needed that closure, and it gave closure to your mom and dad. But
Yeah.
it was so emotional because I'm an energy person, and I'm an empath, and I'm a medium and a
Right.
shaman, and I can feel energies, and the energy in that dark ass room went
Pitch
from
black. Yeah.
went. I mean, don't talk about you couldn't see your hand in front of your face. I mean, that's how dark it is down there. And for them to come through and give her that emotional thing that she needed and that closure she needed was the energy in there after her parents came through was like you're walking through linen, like you're walking through linens hanging up on a clothesline. It was that pure just joy.
Oh.
Oh, it was beautiful. And then I got to tell another story with me and Sherry up at Old South Pittsburgh. Okay, we're up on the 3rd floor, and there was a. You know what? You want to tell the story about the balloon? Go ahead. That's funny.
So Lee, I love Blaine so much at this point in time, and Scott and Jamie and Tim and all that, and Jerry, and I just decided to take another trip with them. We
Good.
stayed we stayed overnight for the entire weekend. The entire
Oh,
weekend. And
how
I
fun.
I brought my middle schooler with me. Her name is her name is Keandra, but her we call her Kiwi.
Okay.
And, and so Kiwi has grown so attached to Blaine that it's unreal. I'm not even playing. Her birthday was March the 14th, and I told her, I said, well, I talked to Blaine the other day, and she's like, oh my God. She's like, I love and miss him so much.
Oh,
But we are up on the 3rd floor of South Pittsburgh Hospital, and we have this balloon. And Blaine, once again, doesn't touch anything, doesn't get near anything at all whatsoever. And so I've got me and my middle schooler, and we're here with Blaine and Scott and Jamie and everybody, you know. And Blaine is asking on command. And I have video of this as well. But this is moving on command. 2 questions
oh,
that he's
wow.
asking. I cannot tell you. This is probably one of the most haunted places I've ever been to in my entire life.
Oh, I'm sure.
Other than
And
Brushy Mountain.
we'll get to that in a minute. But the thing about that balloon, okay, up on 3rd floor, there's no air. There's no
None.
breeze. I mean, you're
None.
sitting there and just drenched in sweat because there's no cold, no heat, no nothing.
Right.
There's nothing that can move that balloon.
Right.
But a spirit.
Right.
It's amazing.
And it was so cool because, like, we sit there and, like, Sherry, ask it to move to the right. And then she'd ask and it moved to the right. And then I say, all right, have it roll. And then I said, you just give it commands. I'm going to stop and see if it does it for you now. Because it's been doing it for me all day and all night. So I stopped and let Sherry give it commands. And it was like on cue. I mean, as soon as she got out of her mouth, it would move this way or move that way, move that way.
The most amazing thing I've ever seen in my entire life. There was no air.
No.
Wow.
And I think what got everybody in that room, I said, Sherry, ask it if it can lift it off the ground. And this sucker came up about 3 foot off the ground.
Are you serious?
Oh,
my
Kid
God.
you not. We have video. We have video.
It hovered. And then when she said, okay, you can put it down now, and it slowly landed back on the ground. I'm like, okay, this is the coolest stuff ever. That we get this on film too. Nobody's gonna believe this. All right, so we sit there, what, about an hour playing with the little kid with
the balloon, yeah.
And we're getting to the point where we've got another group that has to come up there. And so I tell every little spirits, I said, thank you for letting us be up here. We're gonna bring some other nice people up
Always.
And thank you again. Take care. And I swear to God, Sherry will confirm this. We hear a voice audibly go, well, bye, Felicia.
It was the funniest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Well, bye, Felicia.
We were rolling. I mean, I'm rolling so hard. I got my sides hurting. And Sherry's like, did that just say, did you say bye, Felicia? And Kiwi was just like, holy crap, it said bye, Felicia.
Oh, how cute.
Oh
my God, Sherry, that's crazy.
And like I said, she's 22 now, but then she was in middle school. But she's like, did it just say bye, Felicia?
Yeah. Her eyes got as big as saucers, and she looked at her mom, looked at me, looked at the whole room, and goes, did it say bye, Felicia?
Can you imagine if Penny had that happen, what her response would be?
Oh my God. I could.
His granddaughter is so gifted.
Oh yes.
So precious. I could just see her in a situation like that going, did she just say bye, Felicia?
and Kiwi under her voice, under her breath, you hear her go, what the hell?
You gotta love that. Hey,
Oh.
we got a question in there for Blaine and for Sherry, okay? First of all, Thomas is saying, what fantastic energy tonight. And then Laura is saying,
thank you.
If you could investigate anywhere, where would you go?
I want to go to Waverly Hills.
I've been there. Wasn't that, if you like, I don't know, it was okay. If you've never been, you'll like it, but I don't know. I've investigated like 10 times, so it's like second.
Okay.
To me.
Okay.
It's good for the first time. Now, I will tell you a funny story that happened at Waverly. That we're up again on the 3rd floor. We had just walked on
that 3rd floor.
Yeah, and you're looking down the hall, and all of a sudden I see this animal running from one side of the hall to the other room. It's a big ass raccoon. So I'm like, oh, cool, there's critters. So we go in the first room, we sit down, and we're doing a ghost box session. There's probably like Well, it was me and 4 other investigators and a husband and wife that were they bought tickets for the event.
Yeah.
Well, we sit down doing the ghost box, and about 5 seconds in, that lady farted so loud.
Oh no!
Oh my God! And then
Oh.
my God! As soon as she did, you hear the spirit come across the box going, "You nasty bitch!"
You did not.
Oh my God! And she turned like 9 shades of red. She
That's
looked
crazy.
at her husband and says, "Get my purse, we're going home." And they were out the door and gone. And the spirits, every time I went to the 3rd floor, talked about that lady. Said, "Is the nasty bitch gone? Is she gonna fart again?"
No.
Oh my God, y'all, I died.
Oh no.
And they were relentless. I mean, God. But I got to give her credit. If that would have been me, I'd have claimed that one because, dude, she rippled she rippled the floor with that one.
Peeled the paint.
Oh, peeled the paint, walls coming down. Yep.
Do you remember though that night that we were still at South Pittsburgh Hospital and Kim did the kinetic on Jamie?
Oh,
And
God.
Lee, this was the craziest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. She did the kinetic on Jamie, and Jamie was standing there with her hands down behind her back, and so this structure is just waving, just sitting there waving by, and this kind of brings up a
Well,
how
it's the way it was. It's like you could tell Jamie had her hands behind her back, but you see the stick figure come up and it does this 3 or 4 times.
So how do we go about saying that, Blaine?
Well, let's see. About a week later, Jamie and Scott were down in Gulf Shores. They were camping for Labor Day weekend, and Jamie got overheated. They had 2 air conditioners in the tent, but it was so hot, Jamie couldn't stand it. And Scott took her to the emergency room, and they treated her, and they were walking her out the door, and she collapsed right there on the floor. And I think Scott said she passed maybe 4 or 5 hours later. When they brought her down, she was supposedly fine. They were rolling her down the wheelchair, and she went to get up, and she collapsed right away, and they put her back on a gurney and took her upstairs. Well, we think that the spirit knew that was going to happen. That's why the spirit was waving.
That was Jamie saying goodbye to us.
Jamie saying goodbye to us before she knew she was gone. I mean,
Well,
jeez.
I don't know if you guys know about the reading I did for Jamie at Sloss.
Yeah. I love to hear the story.
Yeah. She had all of her family and spirit around her. And she was like, "Why is everybody with me?" And she said, "I'm not going to be in good health, am I? It's coming, isn't it?" Like that. And I've got a picture somebody took of me and her just holding each other.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't say a word, but
yeah.
I will send you pictures, Lee. I have so many pictures of she and I sitting next to each other while Blaine was down with us in the bottom again at Sloss, and there are so many orbs around her. So many orbs.
Yeah, not just orbs. There were actually balls of light around her.
Yes.
From what I remember, didn't her organs slowly start shutting down?
Yes.
They did.
Yeah. So.
It was very sad, but yeah, that was the last time we were all together.
I know. And then the next year we came back and did a memorial for her up there at Old South. And
we did.
We did her right. It's like
short bus.
Oh my God! Did you got to tell them how the short bus came?
The window lickers. We are the window lickers. We are the short bus kids. So Blaine I have pictures of that too, Lee. I'll send you all that. He wears his helmet, and I have my crayons, and I like glitter.
We had so much fun with that. It's like that's when you could still write on the walls at Old South. Now they painted over all of it.
Yes.
But yeah, they had drawn a nice big yellow school bus or a short bus. And all of us in the windows with different stuff. I got like a helmet on my head. And
I got my crayons.
That's so cute.
And we laughed. Oh my God! And then I love that Jamie came through on the first floor over there. We're sitting there, and I said, "Well, if you have anything to say to Scott, will you say?" And clear as day here, go, dumbass.
I know.
Oh Lord,
That was her,
Kid you not. Kid you not.
that's
that,
hilarious.
that was her turn for Scott every time he screwed up. So it must have been a lot because she called him dumbass a lot. Every time I talk to Scott now, I said, "Yeah, Jamie came through on a ghost box session. The first thing she said was, 'Where's dumbass?'"
That's funny.
That was
Just
some of
like
the
fun.
greatest times ever. I
Oh.
mean, that was just great times.
I wish we could have had you and Matt there. Y'all would have had a blast with us.
Yes.
Yes, I
Oh
would.
my God. Oh, but yeah, we did.
And trying to figure out how they got that car in the middle of the emergency room.
Yeah,
The doctor's car,
there was
the
like
Porsche.
it was a
It was a
Porsche.
Porsche, right?
Yeah, I mean, it literally had enough room where you couldn't open the doors to get out of it. And me and all of us trying to figure out, it's like, okay, I know he didn't drive the damn thing in here, did he? If he did, he must have been damn. I mean, because that would have a nice back job because you didn't have no room for air.
Right. Exactly.
Wow.
It was a pretty red Porsche too. I mean, it was gorgeous.
Oh yeah.
And it wasn't beat up or anything?
No. Nope.
It was dusty because it'd been there for a while, but it still had air in the tires. It still looked like a Porsche. But yeah, we'd see Spirit sitting in the car too. That would be fun.
Yeah.
That's where I'd be. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's like I was like, Sherry, check that out. There's a dude in the seat.
I know.
Holy shit.
I know.
It said, and she said, if this thing drives out of here, I'm leaving. I said,
That's
I said, if it drives out of here, we're making $1 million for the best video ghost ever.
That's it.
I was taking it. I was going to take it. I'm just saying. You know, I am from Grundy County and all. So,
So are you going to come to Deep South Paracomic-Con?
oh, I want to so bad. I want to so bad.
It's going to be great. They're in the process of making some changes.
I'll
the
send
date,
you a link down.
the date's changing, Blaine.
What they change it to now?
They're in the process of. It's just a lot of changes because of the Ozark building.
I hope they. Oh dang, that's going to screw me up then. Because if they don't do it on the 6th and 7th,
it'll be probably in September then.
oh, that's fine. They do it in September. That's fine.
Yeah.
You know, I'm ready to go with you guys anytime, any day, anytime. I'm always ready.
We have a blast at Stan's Con. You get to meet so many cool people, and it's funny. It's like we got our little group, and it gets bigger every year we go.
Right. But I love being able to be a newbie still. I'm still a newbie.
Hey, we all are. But hey, I'm doing this forever, and I still learn every day.
You know, I love to learn more and more from you guys and the experience, and I'm so intrigued and so interested, and it's just the greatest thing ever. And you guys, like I said, have become lifelong friends. Lifelong friends.
They did change it to September 21st and 22nd. All right, now I got to look to see what Bama games are on that weekend.
Oh, Blake.
I paid a lot of money for season tickets.
I'm teasing you. I'm teasing you.
I mean, a whole lot of money. And Jennifer would put her little size 8 shoe up my butt if I didn't.
She would. She would.
But yeah, thanks, Mike. But yeah, we've had so much fun. And I got to tell you another story that me and Sherry and Jamie was still with us then. And it's right after we had done the thing with the Connect. And we were doing a ghost box session down there. And we're just sitting around and everybody's asking questions. And out of the blue, I hear this young lady over the ghost box go, "I have Facebook." I'm like, "You have what?" And Kiwi's like, "She has Facebook." I'm like, "What status is it?" I want a friend request from her.
I remember that. I still have that video too. I forgot about that.
And, you know, we get the coolest stuff with Sherry's around. I mean, just that. I mean, I mean, me and Lee and Matt get some crazy stuff too. But Sherry, throw Sherry in the mix. It's just like, oh my God, what are we gonna pick up on tonight? This is gonna be fun.
Oh my gosh, that sounds like so much fun. I hope that you can come to Ozark now that we know.
Oh my gosh, I'd love to. I'd
Oh,
love
we'd love
to.
to have you down there because we have a blast. We do there's a little bit of everything there. There's paranormal stuff, there's cosplay stuff, there's gaming stuff, there's
Yeah, horror.
Oh,
horror.
oh,
It's got everything. And
oh.
we always some of the best speakers like Santiago Cirillo from Walking Dead's down there. Good friend of
Yeah.
mine. And you know Jeremy Leonard. Jeremy's there.
I love Jeremy. Jeremy and I are still friends after all this
Yeah.
from Sloss Furnaces. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Me and Jeremy and Lee and this our little group. You got the Fox Family Paranormal, which I'd love to introduce you to. They're awesome people.
That's what I'm saying. You guys are just so normal and so out there to just be so friendly to all of us newbies. But
I'd rather you learn the correct way than
absolutely
not and have you go out there thinking, oh, this is just like the TV show, 30 minutes an
no,
hour.
it's not.
No,
No,
and
it's
a lot
not.
of people don't understand that. It's like, okay, when you're doing this for real, there's no dramatic music going in the background.
No.
There is no,
except in my head, but
that's fine. I mean, that's fine. But yes, Laura, it's the Ozark, Alabama one.
See, Blaine actually helped one of my friends this weekend.
Oh, really? What happened this weekend?
He did. She's had some demonic presence in her home. And so I've been on the phone with him all weekend, and Jennifer's about to kill me, but anyways, he has so helped her. And by the way, Blaine, she's okay right now.
Right.
Thank God. That's good to know.
I was so glad because I gave her every direction she needed. I told her exactly what to do. I said, you follow what I tell you. This house is going to clear up. And she must have done everything because I never got a phone call from her. So me, I was waiting too. I was like,
were you really?
I was because I know a lot of people, they say they're going to do what I tell them to do and they don't do it. And then I have to go back on it anyway. But if you follow what I tell you, I've done this so many times myself and Lee, and we could tell you exactly what to do. And
absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely. And I'm very thankful for you for helping her and her family.
That's what we do.
I have to send you the video though too. She went in there, the happy music beforehand.
Nice.
And so she's playing Ghostbusters, and they made me a video.
Oh, that's cute.
Oh my God, I love
it. It was the funniest thing ever. But yeah, she's had no problem since.
Yeah,
no problem.
Good.
Well, the thing is like we think that the lady's is engaged and he has a daughter. We think probably the stepdaughter put a curse on the place, and either directly or indirectly or subconsciously. And I had them do a mirror spell. And then I had them go. I had them, put the mirror. People don't know what a mirror spell is. Hold the mirror away from you, with reflecting you, and you say these words: "I send whatever you sent to me back tenfold." And I also say you cannot reflect this back on me ever again, or any other curse. And I had her do that, and had her sage the house. I said, start from the back of the house, work your way to the front. And I said, when you get to the front door, that's the last thing you're going to do. I want you to open that door, and I want you to kick that damn spirit right in his ass, right out the damn door, and shut the door.
Yeah. Get out.
You do not belong here. I did not invite you here.
Uh-oh. Where did she go?
Who? Oh,
Sherry.
We lose Sherry?
Maybe she'll be back in a second. While we're waiting on Sherry to come back, I want to say hello to NSPS TV Paranormal Podcast. Hey,
going
thank you
on?
for watching. And also, Michael Culp, thank you so much for sending the information about Deep South. I've
Yeah,
put
thanks,
the
Mike.
here she comes. Yeah, Mike says, you said get out. LOL. Oh, Lord.
That's
There
funny.
she
We
is.
kicked Sherry out and didn't even want to do it.
You
That's
know,
funny.
but the thing is, we were talking about that this weekend because you and I kept getting disconnected
Yes.
constantly. We got disconnected probably, 15 times?
Yeah.
It was very dramatic. And Blaine's like, it's because they know I'm here. I'm like, okay.
Like I told her Saturday, I said, look, I said, watch, they're going to start cutting us off because they're scared and they're
They did.
petrified. And I said, because knowledge is power, and I'm giving you a lot of knowledge that'll get them out. They knew that their days were numbered, their hours were numbered.
Yeah,
absolutely.
They were getting their last little kiss my ass thing out there. But I played through it, and I was like, you know what? That's fine. I said, you're going to do what I want you to do, and you're not going to like it, but too bad. And she did everything I told her to do to the T. And little Johnny, little smart ass, got his ass kicked out the door.
Yep.
So Michael Culp says hello from Haley Blaine.
Hello, Haley. That's my baby girl. I love that child.
Oh.
Let's see. There was a question about where would you like to investigate, and Sherry had said Waverly Hills. Blaine, what about you?
Okay, if I had the chance, anywhere I could go, I'd love to go back to Europe again and do some more castles. I'd love to go back to the pyramids and actually do an investigation inside the Great Pyramid.
Blaine.
I would love to go to Thebes and just sit there and just do an investigation at Thebes, or the Valley of the Kings, or Valley of the Queens.
Wouldn't that be incredible?
Oh my God.
So,
I'd love, believe it or not, I'd love to do just an investigation in the Colosseum in Rome. Because think of all the deaths that happened in that place. Golly, how many ghosts could you talk to? And
oh my goodness.
Gwen is saying Scotland.
Oh, I've been to Scotland. Scotland is badass for investigating.
Beautiful, I'm sure.
England's badass. Now, Scotland, they got some stuff over there, man, that are ancient spirits that were there, that have lived human lives, but they were like so far ahead in history that they wouldn't copulate with today's standard of humans, but they wouldn't cavemen.
So what about Alcatraz?
History
have you guys been to Alcatraz? Have you really?
Yes, I did.
Tell me about it.
Queen Mary. Okay, Alcatraz is cool. Right, they take you out on a boat from San Francisco Harbor, and it's about an hour ride out there.
Right.
To the island. You get off the island, and they give you free reign of the whole place. We investigated probably about 13 hours there. And
wow.
I got the Birdman of Alcatraz to come through. Yeah, I got Al Capone to come through. I got the 3 guys that escaped from Alcatraz to come through. And
did they give you any of their secrets? Did they tell you what happened?
Yeah, what happened to them is they had a decoy. They made 3 rafts. And one of them, they made sure it wouldn't float long. And they dropped that one out first. And they got out far enough with the 2 rafts they had. One of the rafts had like extra clothes and stuff like that, just in case. And they were wrapped up in bags so they would stay dry. Well, they got out into the current, and it took them to another island where they had stolen a car. And they took the car from San Francisco all the way up into Canada. And they backtracked on the west coast of Canada back to America. They actually went down and visited their family in Georgia. Not once, but like 5 times. And that, the first place FBI would look is where your family homes. They were so good they snuck in without the FBI even knowing they came home.
Oh my Lord. And meanwhile, all these shows, did they die? What happened to them? And the whole family's going,
oh, they're laughing. It's like, yeah, I got pictures of them, from when they were in Brazil, right next to a termite pit. It's like, yeah, we got pictures from them all the time. We got Christmas presents from them.
So David Baird he has a question for us in the chat room. Sorry, Sherry.
Yeah, that's okay.
They're wanting to know if any of us have investigated the Conjuring House.
No, but we know the ladies that live there.
Yes, we do. And I'm supposed to be going. I was supposed to go on New Year's last year.
Oh, Lee.
Yeah, we're both supposed to be going sometime to it.
I know.
That's all y'all.
All right. And Michael Culp said to tell you that next time he goes to Jersey, he's going to the Eastern State Penitentiary.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
That'll be cool.
I did once there. That place is pretty cool. Capone was there too, and he was haunted by 2 of the people he killed in his cell down there at Eastern States.
Now that makes sense, and good.
So, Blaine, I wish that we would have access to it, but where I'm from in Grundy, the High Point, the restaurant is actually Al Capone's old house.
Oh yeah.
So there are tunnels. So there's tunnels that go down underneath across to the DuBose Center. And there's actually still, bullet holes in the wall and stuff. And I would love to have access to go underneath that. I would love it.
So Thomas Gormley is saying, am I coming with both of us to the Conjuring House? I hope so.
Let's go, buddy.
Yes. David's asking Sherry. I'm sorry, the chat room's just buzzing. What is your favorite piece of ghost hunting equipment, Sherry?
The Kinetic. I love the Kinetic. I mean, I love the EVPs, and I love being able to hear the personal voices come through, but I love being able to see the figures. That just amazes me. I just can't explain that.
So she's talking about the SLS camera that's connected to the Xbox Connect. Okay, Laura's got a question for you, Blaine, and I think this is probably going to be a great conversation based off of what Sherry's witnessed and seen you do. Laura's one of my students, and she's a member of the Paranormal Pros group that I have, and Blaine's part of that. He helps me teach it. Okay, she's saying now that she's investigated with me a few times, 7 has appeared a couple of times to help us out, to give us information. Would you be willing to talk a little bit about spirit guides and 7, what he is, and whatever you're comfortable with is what he said.
I'll talk with anything. Okay, 7 is what I call a technician on the other side. And best way to describe him, he's almost like an old switchboard operator where he gets you connected to ghosts and stuff like that. And he's real good about bringing spirits in and letting them talk and bringing people forward, like Sherry's mom and dad. He helped bring those forward.
Absolutely.
And when we're ready to leave, or we're ready to go to another place out of the area we're at now, 7 will bring all the spirits back into the spirit realm and won't let them attach to us or follow us. So he's been wonderful. And I've used 7 probably now. God, when did the first old Radio Shack hacks come out?
Oh, gosh.
15 years ago? 16 years ago? But I've used 7 since then, and I've never had not anything showing up when 7's around, when I get 7 around. And I love it. 7 doesn't belong to me. Anybody, I say, use 7. Please use 7. He loves the attention, and it makes him happy because he's doing a service for us, and we're doing a service for him because he gets to talk with us too. And he loves listening to the spirit stories, and he loves hearing stories we tell, and it's wonderful. And I'll get into the spirit guides. Okay. Everybody has spirit guides. Some only have 1 or 2. Some have a whole bunch. But I will tell you this on your spirit guides. You always have 7 generations of your mother's and father's side as spirit guides. They're more of protectors because that's your bloodline.
Yes.
And they protect their bloodline. Well, spirit guides, everybody has one. It's just a lot of people don't know who they are or what they are. But you ever hear that little voice in your head say, hey, don't touch that, or hey, I don't go there? It's not your conscience. It's your spirit guide warning you. Hey, don't do something stupid. And if you do something stupid, dude, we'll laugh at you. I promise. Oh, General just dog cuss you out laughing. It's funny as hell. But I don't make too many mistakes. I disagree with her one time, and she took away every gift I had for a whole week. I couldn't.
Oh,
wow.
Lord.
I couldn't hear spirits. I couldn't sense anything.
Oh, wow.
I couldn't tell people's emotions. She took everything. And I said, look, I apologize. I was wrong. And that's hard for me to do as a man, but I did. I said, General, I'm so sorry. Please give me my gifts back, because I love having my gifts. I embrace my gifts. And she says, that's the last time you contradict me. I'm like, okay, yes, ma'am. I haven't contradicted her yet. And that was, 10, 11 years ago.
I do have to say that you guys have also taught me as a newbie to always respect what you're doing, and to always to pay respect to the spirits for letting us speak with them. And you guys have taught me in general ways like that as well, that you can't just leave the area, that you need to respect them and you need to close it out. And so there are things that, like I said, I'm still being a newbie. I'm still learning, but
you're learning valuable lessons.
I am thankful that you guys have also taught me how to pay respect to what I do.
Good.
Yep, exactly. And that's what I try to tell everybody. Look, okay, you watch all these stupid shows they provoke.
No.
Okay, that doesn't, think about it this way. If I walked into your house and just dog cussing you, you're going to one of two things. You're going to shoot me, or you're going to kick my ass, one of the two, but I ain't going to be in your house no more.
Right.
But just, even the spirit are bad, treat them with respect, because you'll be surprised.
Absolutely.
You might be the first person that talked kindly to them in decades or centuries.
Absolutely.
When you speak kind to them, it changes their whole perspective. It's like they'll start thinking, it's like, okay, why am I really mad now? You know what? He makes a good point. And and I love to treat them that way. And like you said, I'll tell them before I go in, I'm not here to harm you, disrespect you, show you any kind of malice or anything towards you. I'm going to show kindness and love. And I would love for you to talk to us, because I'd love to hear your stories. And we're going to be your conduit for tonight. And we want you to say whatever you want to say, get it off your brain. And that way you feel better about yourself too. And I've had so many spirits where you were just being kind to them. And they got their whole attitude changed. I could tell you a prime example when we were at Old South Pittsburgh. Remember the doctor on the third floor?
Wow.
He was so pissed off, because so many people had come in there and taunted him and disrespected
so mad.
Oh my God, he was mad. And the first thing I told him, I said, Doc, look, I apologize if there's idiots in this world that do that. I said, look, I have nothing but respect. You healed people when you were alive. You went to all these schools to be a doctor. And I have nothing but respect for you. And once we got that trust back, oh my God, he and the whole nursing staff was just, they talked to us on like anytime we'd ask a question, they'd answer us back. And they'd walk by us and they'd tap us on the shoulder, or some of the nurses would actually come up and give me a kiss on the cheek. And the doctor would come up and shake my hand. And he was like, it's all I wanted was some respect and kindness.
Right.
Y'all have done nothing that the whole time you've been here. And every time you've been here, you showed us that respect. And to me, that's just the way to do it.
I agree. I agree with that 110%.
Because our results were so much better than going there, hey, you're a piece of shit ghost, blah, 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 blah.
Yes.
Sad. It's so sad.
And they still had x-rays and stuff set up there from patients before, and so we're sitting here and we're seeing all these deceased patients and stuff. But as long as we paid them respect, they were so willing to be kind to us as well. And I was not scared of anything, and I
No.
loved it, and I learned
That's
so
good.
much.
So Laura says, we heart 7. Yay. And Thomas said that it's unbelievable that 7 came through in New Hampshire
Yeah.
at Mount Washington Hotel
Right
on
on,
an
Thomas.
investigation.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Also, let's see. David Baird is saying that he wants to visit
yes.
the
Oh,
Vilsa out. I'm not saying that right. The axe murder house.
Oh,
let's go ask her.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I have investigated. Let me tell you what I picked up on the
Oh,
house. Okay. All right. They know it was a man that stayed up in the attic because they found several of his cigarette butts up there. He waited for the family to come back. What people don't know is the reason he was there was a preacher in town that was jealous and wanted their land. So he figured if he could kill off all the people in there, he could just buy the land for pennies. Well, and I know this for a fact too, because the spirit that did it, he told me, he says, Mr. Blaine, I was paid $500 to kill those people. And I asked him,
my God.
oh my God, Blaine.
oh, and if there's still people that go in there to this day, and they will get EVPs of the word preacher, paid 500. I've had several of my buddies go in there after I'd left, and the guy's still in there, and he told me how he had that after the murders were done, he hopped a train and got out of town, and then he died like 3 cities up because he fell off the train and the train ran him over.
Oh, wow.
Instant karma. But since he had did something so bad, his spirit ended up going back to the Villisca axe murder house, and where he is stayed. And now it's funny because he's very protective of the children's spirits now, even though he's the one that killed them. Now he's like,
well, he's been healed.
He's been healed. Yeah.
He's not the same person.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
See?
And it's so cool in that place. Now you can just sit there and be quiet, and you'll hear little girls playing and clapping and singing. And
oh my gosh.
It's wonderful to hear.
That's
and it's like
incredible.
And you still, and it's still got the residual energy of the killings themselves. So that's still in the house, but the spirits aren't having to live through that, getting killed by an axe over and over and over again. Now they're like little girls. They get to play. The mom and dad are happy. They sing and they sing and they tell stories like they would have in those days. So yeah, there's a lot of healing that's been in that house now, but there's still a constant reminder now that
Thomas is right. Honey always trumps bitter.
Every time. But now that I know that I got to talk and got the whole story that a lot of people didn't even know about the preacher. And that's some kind of preacher, huh? Because you get somebody $500 to go kill a family because you want their land. You might as well go back to the Salem witch trials because a lot of that was over jealousy of a land too. So
I don't know if you guys got to see some of the things that was in the show I did, Repossessed, but there was a situation like that. There was a whole family wiped out because they were given the property and the other people in the community wanted it. And they went in there and then they were mad because the guy that, the father, the matriarch, the patriarch of the family killed the guy that was trying to take his property.
Yep.
What do you expect? You're coming on his property, on his family. And this guy's a big Irish guy. He's black Irish.
Yeah.
And tough as nails. And he hit the guy and killed him. He knocked him down and knocked him dead. Knocked the life right out of him, literally. So, it happens that I feel like in spirit, though, when you no longer need the property, the greed has withered away.
Mm-hmm.
Suddenly you realize what you thought is so important is wrong. And I really feel like there's a lot of healing that we've witnessed as investigators. And that's why I do it all the time.
Yep.
I know that's why the students that have taken my classes and work with Blaine, work with me, that will do investigations with us in the next few months. Every one of these investigations we're trying to bring healing and love.
Yep.
We're not looking for jump scares and running and screaming and, as my husband calls it, fuckery. We're not trying to do that. Right?
No, we're not getting no fuckeration going on.
Yeah, no fuckery. So that's great. Yeah, Gwen saying yes, we do love Seven.
Oh, I
When
do too.
I called Seven to an investigation, and he went outside and was bringing spirits in off the square where we were.
Yeah.
Bringing people in that had died at the hospital and bringing the twins that she was pregnant with. And I was like, how did you get here at the Belmont? And they said, Seven.
Mhm.
That's what they said on
Yeah.
this Ghost Box 7. I said, oh my gosh, Seven, you're really outdoing yourself tonight.
Oh,
It was crazy. I've got videos I can show you. He's crazy.
Oh, I love Seven, and I love everybody else now.
I say he. It could be a she
No,
or
Seven is a male.
neither.
Seven is a male. Seven is a male.
Well, he showed off.
Oh, he can show off. I love it when he shows off, especially when you got new people there. He was like, okay.
Oh yeah.
When he brought Sherry's mom and dad there, she looked at me. He's like, how do you do that? I said, all I did was ask.
Yeah,
and
just
Seven
ask.
brought them. Seven brought them. And it's like, oh my God, you are good. I said, hell, I don't do nothing. They do all the work. I just sit here.
We're just friends. We know a guy. That's it. We know a guy.
We know a good guy.
Yeah, oh my goodness. So David Baird is asking a question with you guys. I guess this is a panel question. And thank you everybody for the great questions. You're making this a great night.
Oh yeah.
My sinuses are killing me. I feel like I'm in a fog, and now I'm just getting all excited and buzzed.
Yeah,
what a great show, Okay, anyway, he said he's skeptical on some of these shows on television. Is there any of them that have any truth behind them, or are they all fake?
Okay, I'll give you my personal opinion of it. I'd say 90% of the shows that you see are dramatized for effect.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you that Lee's show is not dramatized. That one was true to the heart. What you saw them do is what happened.
Absolutely.
Okay. I will tell you another one too. Jeremy Leonard's 2 shows he's done.
Absolutely.
They didn't fake a thing on there, and they're one of the few. And I could tell you the show that I did on the Science Channel.
Absolutely.
I told the whole truth, nothing but the truth, even though they took my words and didn't use all the words I said. They patched together a story that I did sort of tell, but it wasn't the exact story I told. But I was happy it got out there, and it might have helped somebody.
It was a good show, even though it wasn't exactly what you said. It was a good show, and it still rang true.
Yeah.
As far as the message. So, but I will tell you this, Brandon Alvis, who used to be a member of Ghost Hunters with Grant when Ghost Hunters made their comeback and Jason was doing Ghost Nation, he has made it, he and Mustafa Gadalori have made it their mission, not only to film things that are real, but also do a different format, more along the lines of what you and Blaine share, the 3 of us, I should say, have been talking about tonight, the endearing, sincere, the healing, the love, even talking with the spirits that are angry and trying to get them straightened out, for whatever reason, they've been hurt and they need love. He has taken upon himself to try to capture that side of TV. Mm-hmm. And I love it. I love what he's done. His book is fantastic. So if you're looking for something like that, Haunted Discoveries is his new show. It's airing in Canada first. And you might be able to pick up some on YouTube of his. There's a lot of people that do things for entertainment value is what they call it. Like take for instance, when I lit my candle, just the beginning of the show, I lit my little candle. By the way, thank you, Rachel King, for the candle witch candle company, the Salem Witch Candle Company. Thank you for these. So when I lit it, I could have gone, oh wow, or I could have lit it and been like, yes, we're calling spirits tonight, or I just lit the candle and set the damn thing down, but exactly. That's what I mean. Things can happen and how you respond to it can make it look more dramatic. Yeah. So yeah, a lot of them are embellished on. Yeah, it's something that has to happen for entertainment value, but there are those of us that stand against that.
Yeah.
And still teach and bring love and healing. Yep.
Well, I can tell you just from filming with Lee, everything that they did on that show was straight from the heart. There was no script to it. it was like y'all were unscripted, which was I thought was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And y'all set up and you did your thing.
Right.
And what you picked up on is what you saw.
Yep.
And what their reaction were actually real time. It was no, wait, can you do that again? You didn't look scared enough.
No, I never
Um,
got it.
No, it was the exact reaction that they got from whatever happened. And I love the fact of it. And I'll swear up and down to everybody that wants to watch it. That was the most realistic television show about ghost hunting I ever have seen. And hers and Jeremy's are probably the three best shows out there that there was nothing faked, that was them being them. And I know the story of Jeremy, and we had a guest last week that was on 28 Days on the same show that Jeremy was, but they're at a different location. What they did in that house for 28 days is what happened to them for 28 days.
Right.
And then
I
you want to
agree.
get an hour of each episode, but yeah, there was a lot of stuff that
There was a lot that got cut out
Oh.
because, you know, it was just a few episodes out of 28 days. I mean, what can they pull out?
Yeah.
So, but I will tell you that Sean Austin was fantastic on the show. If you're watching tonight, please go back on our Facebook page or YouTube account. You can look on Blaine's, look on mine. I think you need to see how really Sean was touched emotionally by the spirit that he communicated with. I mean, he truly loves her to this day, and he prays for her happiness and her eternal life. And that's a real investigator for me.
Yeah. And I told him, I said, look, dude, you had to put up with a lot of shit on that show from spirits, but that one connection you made with that one lady.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, Blaine, I said, that was the most surreal thing to me ever. He said, I still feel connected to her, and I feel like she helped me and I helped her. And it was just beautiful.
It was so beautiful. He was so touched. He said, I'll never be the same.
No.
She made an impact on his life. So, yeah. And I'm glad that her heartbreak is healed too, because she found her boo thing.
Mm-hmm.
She found her boo thing.
Yeah, sure did. Yeah. And he helped those two come back together. And that to me is just the most beautiful thing, because me and Lee have done it before with the little mother and the little girl at Sloss. They had been walking past each other.
That was horrible.
It was horrible.
They could walk past each other, not see each other for years and years and years.
Mm-hmm.
And when me and Lee finally got them to cross back into the same plane where they're together and got the father involved with it too, oh my God, that right there was just makes it worth what we do.
So where did you guys actually do this part? Was it at the stage part that we were at, or was it?
Actually,
we were by we were near a railroad track looking thing.
What happened here? We did this on Sunday after everybody had left. Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay.
We still stayed, and we finally got past that one gate that I'd never been past that before, and 62 times there before.
Right.
Always been shut. Well, it's finally open. We went down to the little stand there where he could watch. I guess his job was to watch the trains pull in and out to get to bring the melting stuff of the steel and the watch.
Yeah.
Well, his wife, her job was to feed lunches to people or lunchtime, because they didn't let them come out. If they worked down in the tunnel, they stayed their whole shift. Well, she was bringing lunches down.
Okay.
She had her 5-year-old girl, and there was literally a train that just pulled up, and they were getting ready to unhook it from the big train and put a little train to take it downstairs where they could take stuff off of it.
Right.
Well, the little girl was 5, and she had no patience. Well, this is what happened when the mom's walking down the stairs to feed lunches. She trips and breaks her neck. Okay.
She falls down dead.
She falls down dead. And 5 minutes later, they'd already picked her up and rushed her out the other end of the tunnel. Well, that's when the dad came down, because he heard the commotion. He ran to see what it was. Well, he gets down there, and just as they're taking his wife out the back way, he sees that they got his wife. He takes off with the wife. You know.
Okay.
Well, the little girl had been up there, and she got impatient, and she wandered down the stairs to see her mom. She tripped and broke her neck.
From the furnace, the top of the stairs at the furnace part?
Down.
Oh, wow.
So
Well,
she did just like her mom and fell and
yeah,
broke her
she
neck.
fell and broke her neck. Well,
So that's why we kept getting the spirits and things from up on the top floor. That
Yes.
yes.
okay.
And then me and Lee finally put two to two together. This mother, this father, and this little girl are all related.
Okay.
And then
Oh.
once we got it there, Lee helped the husband cross to that dimension, and I helped the little girl cross to the dimension where his wife and child were. And it was that to me was so phenomenal.
Oh wow.
That we
It
got to
was.
bring such
It
joy
was incredible.
and
You
how
guys
much
are amazing.
Oh, thank you,
we're
honey.
just very blessed and very
Yes.
great spirits took care of us. Oh my God. Uh, but that to me, it's like helping you and helping that family
Mhm.
and all the spirits I've helped throughout the years and still will help down the road. That to me, though, was just so satisfying that we could do something that where that family was back together and they could spend their time together as a family and not be looking for each other over and over again. Because the husband couldn't see the wife couldn't see the little girl couldn't see
Oh.
daddy or mama. And then when we got them on the same plane, it was like, oh my God, this is just unreal. This is so cool. And me and Lee sat there and it's like, you believe that just happened? I was like, oh my God, that is amazing.
I'll never forget it as long as I live.
Me either. I
Yeah.
mean, that'll live in my life. I mean, I'll talk about that after we're dead and gone because that was just so beautiful.
Well, I'm just going to say that weekend was totally amazing and beautiful to begin with. That
Now,
you guys
Thank
it
you.
were
was
able to give me what I needed at that point in time.
and that was a blessing too because
Yes.
the look on your face when you got there, you were like, I'm not gonna pick up nothing, I'm not gonna see nothing, I'm just wasting my time. And then the expression changed on your face as soon as your mom spoke the first time. You went to like a dead face to, oh my God.
Did she really just say Gina? Did she really just?
And you
She
looked at
just
me
said my name.
and she looked at me and goes, that's my mama's voice. Because I wouldn't have known her mom's voice. I wouldn't have known her dad's voice. But she verified as soon as she came through, that's my mama. Like, holy shit. Hell yeah.
And I just started
That was
crying.
incredible.
But yeah, he didn't know me. He didn't know me. We just met 10 minutes prior to. We didn't know each other. He didn't know my name. He didn't know. Yeah, I can't make that up. And I'll forever, for my entire life, be grateful for that moment.
Now, Sherry, you got to tell them the story you told me the other day when you were. This is
Well,
therapeutic for you. Tell me the
okay.
story you told me about them when you were in the hospital.
Hold on just a second. There's a question from Gwen. She's been waiting since the show started, and I think you're about to answer it. So I wanted to get the question in before you answer it. She's asked. She's also a paramedic. She's in the medical field, and she's wanting to know about your spiritual gifts and how do you manage that being in the medical field. Am I right, Blaine? Okay. So I stopped you just in time. Go ahead, baby.
I'm very empathetic towards my patients. I could not imagine doing anything else in my entire life. As I said, my dad passed in 98 with cancer, lung cancer. He started working in the coal mines at age 7. My mom passed in 2006 with colon cancer. A couple of years ago, I was in a car wreck and I was resuscitated 3 times and life flighted to Vanderbilt. And as I'm sitting there in the hospital, I'm in a coma and they've already brought me back to life 3 times. I remember sitting there in the hospital before my daughters got there and no one knew where I was at because I was an alias on top of that, just because I was a stat patient and I was in trauma and I'd already died 3 times. I'm sitting there, I'm laying there in the hospital bed and I can tell you with full fact, I'll swear on anything that I have, that my mother was sitting there and she had her hands on my legs and she was rubbing my legs, sitting there talking to me, telling me that it was going to be okay, that I was going to be all right. And
you got this.
Just breathe.
You got this.
I look over to the window and I see my dad standing at the window. And I asked him, I said, Dad, I said, why aren't you over here sitting with me? And he said, baby, I can't see you like this. And he said, but you're going to be okay. And they were there with me the entire time. The entire time. And like I said, I was under an alias because I'd already died 3 times. But
Oh my God.
they were there with me. And no one will ever tell me any different. And they were just as there with me then as they were when I was with Blaine, and I heard their voices, and it I would not be here today if it hadn't been for them. I think that they saved me. I think that they were there with me. I think they helped me get through it. I think that I believe in everything in my power that they were there with me. And I will never know any different other than that. But she sat there on the edge of my bed with me, and she rubbed my leg the entire time. By the way, my leg has 2 rods, 2 plates, 26 screws.
Oh my Lord.
My other leg has 2 plates and 8 screws in it. And I'm still in the medical field today.
Yeah.
And the only reason why I went into the medical field was because my dad got cancer and he asked me to.
Yeah.
I was going to school for graphic commercial design, and he got lung cancer, and he's like, so why don't you go to school for medical? Won't we change? And I cannot tell you that I would do anything else in my entire life. I love my patients. I love what I do. But yeah, my mom and dad were there with me. And I'm going to tell you, if it hadn't have been for them sitting on the bed with me, and of course I was on ketamine and hydrocodone, and I was in an induced coma and this and that, and and I couldn't walk for a long time after that period. And then right after that, I got diagnosed with stage 4 metastatic malignant melanoma. I'm still here.
I told you, you're a fighting no broad.
I am a fighting old broad. And I would not be here if it hadn't been if it's not for them. And like I said, once again, you guys actually gave me that option and knowledge to connect with them back when my kid was still in middle school. And I'm more apt tuned to pay attention and acknowledge things now.
Yeah.
I pay more attention to the signs or coincidences or however you want to look at it.
Right.
However you want to perceive it, that's how you want to perceive it. But I believe that they're here with us. I believe that they're here with me.
Oh yeah.
I have no doubt in my entire life. And it actually gets a little bit crazier, Lee. You want me to go on, Blaine?
Please do. Your testimony right now is so beautiful. Audiences love it. Thank you for sharing.
Oh, so one of my patients, and I have asked, I did ask for permission this weekend. One of my patients, we were sitting here, and I'm talking about doing paranormal investigations and things, and I am just like going on, and so they're talking to me about stones, and his wife's name is actually Gina, which mom and dad
Okay.
called me, which that was my nickname, So that's what mom and dad called me. Her name's Gina.
Okay.
So that was kind of a coincidence. And so as I'm sitting here with this patient, I'm telling him about, the paranormal and ghost hunting and stuff and talking about you guys. And he's like, he grabs my badge and he goes, Meeks. He said, who's your dad? And I said, Red. And he just immediately starts crying. And I said, well, have you ever been to Brushy Mountain? Because I had just went and just toured because I wanted to see what Dad actually did. And my dad was this boss over the State Department for the state of Tennessee for 38 years. He actually had 4 years of overtime and sick days built up when he had passed. He was a hard worker, a very hard worker. Started to work in the coal mines at age 7, but he had worked for, the state for 38 years. So as he's grabbing my badge, and he says, Meeks, who's your dad? And I said, Red. And he goes, he starts to cry, and he goes, I know your dad.
Oh, wow.
I said, what? And he begins to tell me, he said, your dad was one of the best men I've ever known in my entire life. He was so kind to me and so generous to me. And just, he came and saw me all the time. And I said, what are you talking about? He said, sweetheart, he said, I was in Brushy.
Oh.
And I said, what? And he goes, yeah. He said, back in the early 90s, he said, I was in there for a drug charge. And he ended up getting put in there for a long time off of drug. But times were different then, of course. But Dad would take the governors and the senators to visit the state prison and stuff. And so as he's in there visiting him, he then proceeds to tell me about, he's like, well, I drew this picture of this little girl with a ponytail. And I start to cry. And I said, that little girl was me. I said,
Oh, wow.
oh, I said, I still have that picture. And I said, that was me. And so then he proceeds to tell me, he says, what about the box I made? And I said, what? He says, the little wooden case. And I'm just sitting here looking, and he starts to describe it. And my children don't even know about this case. It's in my closet right now. He made that for my dad.
Wow.
Oh, my gosh.
He, so at this moment, he and I both are crying, And I spend probably like 2 hours with him. But then I pull up pictures from Brushy, and I ask him, I said, who drew this beautiful mural, painted this beautiful mural in the mess hall? And he just breaks down again, and he just hugs me, and he said, I painted that. He said, that was me.
Holy shit.
And
Wow.
I have no reason why I met this man. I have no reason to tell you how we connected. He's moving away out of state, him and his wife and his family. And for some reason, just that day, we just got to talking, and it was so heartwarming. Yeah. And touched my heart so much to know that he actually knew my dad, and he had so many stories about my dad being so kind and so generous and being such a good human to him. And he's like, he just was always so kind to me, always so kind to me. I cannot make any of this up.
Nope.
I would have never. I'm not that creative. I would, yeah.
Right.
Well, I can tell you this, Sherry. Wow, and there could Hollywood's best writers could not write that script. Let me tell you,
they wouldn't have a clue how to start anything like that.
I mean, that's just so wonderful and beautiful that y'all made that connection. Like I always tell people, meet people for one or two as a lesson or a blessing, one of the two. and you
Right.
got your blessing off of that one.
No, I did. I did.
And you-
I love him and his family. They are so kind and so sweet. It was written in the stars for me to meet them.
Yeah, and you got to tell them what you did to give them something.
I I actually started studying the stones, and so I actually went, and because they're moving and leaving, and I'm very very much going to miss them now.
Yes.
I went and got them some Apache tears.
Oh,
I know. I keep telling her. I said I would love an Apache tear, just one.
I will get you one, Blaine.
that's
Oh, thank you.
amazing.
Oh, that is so
Yeah.
cool that you got that person. You know what's cool though? They might be 1,000 miles away from you, but
Right.
that spiritual connection you got now, it is like you're this close to each other, and
We
that
are.
will never go away.
It will never ever go away.
No.
It's just like meeting you guys. I mean, no matter we've been apart for so many years or whatever else, you guys will always be part of my life.
Always.
And just like them, they will always also be part of my life
Oh,
Yeah,
thank
and that's
you.
from here on out.
the fact that it was one of your patients that knew your father, and you got that connection out of it. You got to do your job as a nurse to
Mhm.
help this person. And he not only you helped him, he helped you by sharing stories about your dad with you,
He did.
and
Things
feel,
that I had no idea about. I had no idea about them.
and see that moment you had not only the connection with him and his wife, you had a connection with your mom and dad at the same time because they were there as well. That's what's so beautiful about this whole thing. It's I can't wipe the smile off my face. The story's so just beautiful. Oh
It
my
is
God.
so gorgeous.
Thank you, Lee.
Unbelievable.
Jerry, and I hope that was therapeutic for you because I was told it would be, that you needed to tell that story. And I'm glad you did because that story right there is so touching and so wonderful that our audience is just like going, oh my God,
That's incredible, Sherry.
that's incredible.
So Spooky Japan podcast just sent their best regards and thank you
Hi,
for the
Irene.
story.
She her whole group in Japan watches and listens to our show, so we appreciate Irene.
Hi. Thank
And
you.
Irene is so cool. Golly, this show to me has just been so energizing,
Powerful. So
powerful, and
well, oh, David said, David
oh,
Meredith,
David,
you got me crying. Oh,
hey, those are healing tears.
yeah, I don't believe that was a coincidence.
Oh,
That
that was
was
not a
it.
coincidence.
It was
Never.
meant.
There's
It was
never.
absolutely.
Oh, it was in the stars long before we got here, and like when the first time you met us, that was in the stars.
It
And like
was.
you said, you didn't know us 10 minutes, but we were giving you answers. And I think we made believers out of you because I know you were
Oh, absolutely.
skeptical. You were
I
a little
was.
skeptical. I know your friend was really skeptical. Then she
Yes.
was like, "Holy crap, that's her mom," because she knew your
Right.
mom too.
She knew my mom's voice as well. Yes,
Oh
you're
my
right.
God. She's like, oh my God, that is my mom. Holy moly. That's her mom.
I'm sorry to cry on you guys tonight.
Hey, those are therapeutic happy tears.
They are happy tears. I promise you, they are happy tears.
And
Yeah.
I'm glad I hope that was therapeutic for you as well. Because
Absolutely.
I was told by Janawa, she says, have her tell that story because it's going to be therapeutic for her and it's going to help her. Her spirit's going to rise tonight and it's going to bring you a great karma is what that's going to bring you, which it already has started.
Mm-hmm.
I really hope so.
Yeah. Our viewers are going nuts. Thomas said, unbelievably healing episode, so beautiful. And Irene, who is a psychic medium in Japan, she said, Shar, you are loved and cared for by your family.
Yep.
and your family in heaven.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so that's beautiful. Christopher, who's been managing our chat room, thank you, Christopher, for all you do for us. He said, wow, this is so beautiful. Now, the only thing I can think of that might just be a little cherry on the top is just to give you a little bit of history information about Sloss, going back to the origin story of yours. That's why we do Tell Me Your Ghost Story. I want you guys that are watching, I wanted you to know what is Sloss Furnace. Okay, it was built in 1872 by a colonel. His name was Colonel Sloss. And Alabama, particularly this area of Alabama, listen to this. It's got coal, unusual coincidence of coal, iron ore, and limestone. And what do we know about limestone? As far as the paranormal, it really holds it in. So that's why he created Sloss. Yeah. And I was able to, do you remember when we were down in the bottoms of down in those tunnels, and we kept hearing slag, and we thought they were talking about the metal? That's the name of a man.
Well, the reason, and I'll tell you where the reason he got the name slag. It was a derogative term, because slag actually is just the byproducts of the coal, the steel, and the metal. It's what burns off from it. They call it slag. Well,
they calling him shit.
Pretty much, it was shit. And the guy that they named Slag, he was a real bad boss. He pushed and pushed and pushed, and I guess they finally had enough of it. So they threw him in one of the smelters and killed him there.
Yeah, it was deemed
I remember
an accident.
that.
Yeah. Do you know about
deemed it an accident.
Yeah. Do you know Scum?
Yeah.
You know who that is? Remember, we talked about, we were hearing that Scum. His name was James Wormwood.
James Wormwood, yeah.
Yes,
I
and
remember
he
that.
was so inhumane. He made the people that work there take terrible risks. Now, let's remember, there's no ventilation.
Yes.
There's no breaks. You work 7 days a week, 12 hours a day in 120-degree heat.
Yep.
There was an explosion that cost 6 men their eyesight.
Yep.
And there was no such thing as safety records back then. You just did what you did. Numerous people fell into the melted iron from Big Alice. Okay, there were like I think there were like 22 that fell to their death into that molten
Remember
iron.
that too.
Because they were going up Big Alice, and the fire escape fell apart on them, and it set them down. And here's the thing: even the boiling hot steam that came off the pipes was so hot that it would scald you all the way to your bone.
Yeah.
And then the carbon monoxide. But there was, remember, Blaine, whenever we were talking to the Italian family, you were just talking about the mom and the daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there was one Italian engineer that came over that was trying to help make things more humane. And it seems like the majority of the problems happened when they were getting stuff off the train and putting a little train connected and all of that. So he was trying to help with that. And he ended up with his wife and daughter dying. So that's sad. And also there is a monster that's at Sloss. Okay. There's a night shift chief. His name was Samuel. And everything had been turned off. This was in 1971. He said that he was on his deathbed, and he said that he was he was near Big Alice. That's what it was. He was near Big Alice. And he said that he was pushed and he didn't want to fall. He wasn't going to fall. And he started to fight the monster with his bare fists. And even though the ovens were out and there's no heat, he received 3rd-degree burns. And he died several days later.
Yep.
So I just thought I would throw that out there. That
I love that history. Another history I know about Sloss too is we know that there were 417 confirmed deaths.
Yes.
I take that back. There was 517 confirmed deaths. There was probably over 2,000 because back then if you were Irish or black or Italian, have skills. If you died, they just replaced you with another Italian, another blah blah blah. Well, they were too cheap to bury them, so they put them in the smelters. And I know for a fact that there are pieces of metal that were milled there at Sloss up on that upper in the wheelhouse room where you go up on the catwalks. There is an area about 4 foot wide that any meter you have will go off, and you move a foot away from it, it won't move. It won't go off. But you could feel the energy of those people in those 4 pieces of steel. Oh, hi, Jen.
All right. So Jennifer says, I want to throw in a quick thank you to Blaine and my sweet friend Sherry for your support this weekend before taking on whatever it is / was in my house. As much as I love and respect all things paranormal, I don't ever want that feeling in my home again. Super weird mirror question for you, though. The mirror I used and left in Fairview duplicated and was casually sitting in my bathroom counter when I got back to Brentwood.
Okay. Well, good thing about it, the reason that mirror came back to you is that is your permanent protection, and that it wanted to stay with you. See, the nice thing about it, you can reuse that mirror as many times as you want to for something like that that's cast on you. And that mirror was thankful to you. That's why it came back home with you, because it belongs to you.
Oh my gosh.
That's not badass.
I thought that was really crazy. Also, I posted a newspaper link in our chat for anybody that's interested in seeing some of the evidence that we've, from the history of the ghost box session and EVPs that we got 10 years ago when we were down in the bottoms, in the tunnels of Sloss.
Oh, it has not been 10 years. Oh.
Yeah.
And the sad thing now is you can't do investigations there anymore. They've turned it into.
Oh, you can't?
No, you can't even. Now they've turned it into like a place for weddings, bar mitzvahs, birthday parties.
You lie.
No, I'm dead serious. It's
funny.
No. Actually, it's funny. They don't do anything in the old buildings where the wheelhouse was down in the tunnels. They use offset buildings that were there now, and they'll teach metallurgy classes, teach you how to make your little twisted
There's no way.
the fence post. And they won't even let you go in there anymore. You can't even. It's sad because that place was phenomenal for activity. And I know what happened. There were some investigators that went in and do some weird stuff in there. And
after us, right?
Oh, yeah, way after us. They've done it before us, and they've done it after us. You don't know how many times I've had to cleanse from spirits that don't belong there, that were brought by other people there.
Right, absolutely. I mean, that's what I'm saying. You guys have also taught me that we need to cleanse ourselves and our spirits and be respectful and thankful to them. And I mean, that's what it comes down to, is all about respect. And
and it's so sad because Sloss, I always got tickled going to Sloss, because if you go down in the tunnels, it is dirty, it is muddy, it is filthy. And I'll tell these people before they come, look, bring you a pair of shoes you don't mind getting dirty. And what do? These women come up there in these open-toed shoes, and I'm laughing at them. Sherry wasn't one of them, thank goodness.
Not me.
I'm looking at this lady. She's got like these $60, Jordache or Calvin Klein.
Jordache.
Or, expensive brands that I can't afford. But yeah, she's walking down the tunnel. I said, "You're going to regret that." She said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Wait till we go past the train." She gets in there, and it's like mud and muck, and there's water holes there, and the water's all nasty, and they've probably got stuff growing in there. Ain't got names for the diseases on it.
Good thing to have medical people around, right?
Yeah.
And then they'll complain. Well, I didn't think it was going to be this bad. I said, I told you before you came here, bring you some shoes you don't want to get, if you don't mind if they get dirty, because they're going to get dirty.
Yes.
Wear clothes you don't mind getting dirty, because if you're too prissy to get dirty, you don't need to get caught.
Prissy.
Because you don't get dirty in Sloss because it's dusty, it's it's dirty.
There's still that stuff everywhere, that
Yeah.
metal.
Yeah, the metal shavings is everywhere. The metal dust is there. You gonna go out there dirty, but yeah, we had people that come in there, flip flops, and
I know it. I remember that.
And I remember the one lady, and she was so bougie too. And the first time her toe hit that mud, I thought me and Sherry was just going to fall out. I mean, she got deep too. You heard that squish, squish.
Oh Lord!
Then the suction just sucked her shoe right off her foot. And now she's got to reach down there with her hands and pry that damn thing out of the mud. Oh my God, I laughed so damn hard. And it's like, y'all I told y'all before you get here. And then I tell them after they get here, it's like, you really gonna wear them shoes down there?
I know it.
I said, I gave you one warning. You don't want to heed my warning? I hope you get squishy shit all up in your toes.
Please spewed. And I snorted.
I almost shot mine up my nose. I swear.
Oh my gosh, I miss you guys so much. Like, you are not right.
And I love it.
I do too.
Oh, I mean, good Lord. And then to me, it's hilarious. It's like, okay, do what you want to do. We're going to sit back and laugh at you, dumbass, when you're tromping. Oh, that one lady that got her feet all dirty and had to pick the thing up the shoe.
Yes.
She got out of the tunnel. It's like, I can't even get in my car now. I'm like,
I know it.
I guess you better get you some paper towels or something.
And we did stay in that motel. Oh, that motel was horrible.
Oh, yeah.
That motel.
I did not book that hotel. It was already booked by the.
Oh, it was bad. It was so bad. I would have rather stuck my toes in the mud. It was bad.
Y'all, this place made hotel sex look good. I don't remember what it was. It was like a Super 8 or We Don't Care or whatever it was. It was nasty. It's like I didn't even sleep under the covers.
No.
That sounds horrible.
Facts.
I actually took clothes out of my bag and laid them on the bed, and I slept on top of my clothes.
I went to the Dollar General and got sheets.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, you poor thing. Oh my God.
Hey, if I'd have known you were leaving, you would have got me some of the Dollar General too.
All right.
And about 8 cans of Lysol.
Facts. Plain facts.
Y'all.
I mean, that room has stuff. Hey, y'all, that room has stuff that Ajax wouldn't take off.
He's not playing. I'm not. I swear to you.
And y'all, when I got home, I must have stayed in the shower for about 3 hours just re-washing the funk off because I felt so nasty.
I felt cleaner being in Sloss than I did in the hotel.
I know.
Oh my God, guys.
It was bad. It was really bad.
Was it time to get a tent and just stay outside?
Oh, girl.
I think we'd have been better off if just pitching a tent right there in the yard at Sloss.
Y'all got me crying laughing.
You're not talking about pitching a tent, Blaine.
Yes, I did.
Oh, God. Oh, my God.
Man, you are killing me.
Oh, Lord.
Eric says, if I was there, I'd give you my shirt to wipe your tears.
Les.
I did actually give my shirt to Elijah there.
Yes, you did. I was going to say that. I remember that. Oh, my Lord. So, we are wrapping it up now. Unfortunately, I hate for this to end. Oh my gosh. I do want you to know that as we go into further into March, this is going to be the month of prophecy, prayers from our ancestors for indigenous uh, uh, spirituality. So there's a United Nations permanent forum on indigenous spirituality that will be happening March the 16th. So you guys be thinking about that, and remember that, you know, one thing that one of the things that the Cherokee really do is very faithfully is they acknowledge all religions, and they also acknowledge all people. So you know, maybe that's something we should take from that, and keep it close to our hearts, because um, lots of times, just like we've been discussing, lots of times we in the show we've talked about love and healing. Love and healing. Well, where does it come from? It comes from being accepted and loved, and being heard, being valid. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Everybody has their own a gift, and Blaine definitely has a gift for laughter. So many wonderful things have been healed in laughter with this man. Oh my gosh.
I agree.
That is one of the things. Wait a minute. I can just see it. I can just see all of us in a tent in the yard out there at Sloss with our feet sticking out the tent.
Oh yeah.
Oh Lord. Well, Sherry, how can people reach you, darling? How can we all get out there and see who you are? And, you know, if anybody has any questions for you.
You're more than welcome to contact me on Facebook at Sherry Meeks.
Sherry Meeks. All right.
MEEKS. Yes, ma'am.
Very, very cool.
Also, I have an email as well. It's SHERSEALS@yahoo.com.
Awesome. Are you going to any Paracon soon?
Not anytime soon. I just had to sell my house, so I'm trying to move.
Trying to move. Sounds like a lot going on. Well,
it is a lot.
Pencil in, you know, the end of September, beginning of October. We'll let you know where the Deep South Paracomic-Con, where it lands. There's still, you know.
Michael put the date out there, September 22nd and 23rd. There'll be a Saturday and Sunday. It'll be from 11 o'clock till 7 o'clock on Saturday. And I think from 9 o'clock, or it might be 11 o'clock. I think they close it out around 3, 4 maybe.
Okay.
But all your speakers and all your the panels that we do and the workshops that we do, those will be scheduled for Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, she said they were going to try to extend some of the hours on Sunday, so that might be something fun. But it's 200 days, 200 days, 12 hours and 9 minutes and 14 seconds away. So be looking for it. We'll be talking more about it as time, you know, approaches.
I think you guys need a personal Apache tier from me, hands-on.
I do. The thing I say, because me and Lee and Matt always share a booth together anyway.
Yes.
Yes, we do.
And Brandon will be there, our producer. You'll like Brandon.
Yes, we will.
Okay.
You're more than welcome to bring your chair, come sit back at the booth with us, walk around. Hey, and we will have a blast. We will have
absolutely
fun. You get to hang out with Jeremy again. You get to meet Santiago. You get to meet Fox. You already know.
Oh, I know Santiago as well. I already know him as well.
Yeah, he'll be there. Santiago is my buddy. Yeah, we're both veterans, so yeah, we hit it off the first time we met.
Oh, did you really?
He's been doing a lot of stuff lately. He's been doing a lot.
He has
a lot of traveling.
I've been keeping up with him. He's been out there.
Well, he started his own production company. Now he only hires veterans, actors.
Oh, wow.
He employs a lot of veterans in his movies and his TV shows off his production.
Okay.
Like, dude, that's awesome. I said, if you never ever need anything from me, just to be an extra anything, I'll do it for free because you're helping other veterans.
Oh, absolutely. I'm more than willing to help anybody or talk to anybody. I don't have a lot of the answers, but I can always contact you guys.
You get to hang out with us. You get to meet two of our favorite people, Stan and Teresa Fikes. They're the one that hosts the Comic-Con. And
Right.
they're wonderful people. They're just down home country like we are. And they're great people. They're awesome. And they put on a hell of a con.
Yes,
And
they do.
oh my,
Okay.
there's vendors there. Anything you can think of, there's vendors there. They got food vendors there to just make some phenomenal food. Oh, they got a coffee truck out there. It's like, oh my God, this will put Starbucks out of business. It'll put Dunkin' out of business. It'll put all McDonald's out of business for coffee. That place is wonderful. I don't drink coffee, but I liked it. So
Yeah, I
Oh,
love coffee and I liked it.
yeah, I'll drink it, but I'm like you guys, drink 3 or 4 cups in a day. I might drink 2 or 3 cups in a month.
Yeah. And we've got people saying thank you for coming on the show tonight, Sherry. Yes, thank you so much for being on. It's been lovely, and as you're doing things at the hospital, keep an eye out. You never know what you might see there.
Yeah,
absolutely. Thank you guys so much for having me, and I
Well-
thank everyone for listening to me. And
Yeah.
Sherry,
sorry, I
me-
cried.
No, hey, that was pure emotion. We want you to stay on the show just a little bit after we get off air. Because the reason we go short, in case we can't make a show, we have one we can throw in the backup. We have to be under 2 hours. So that's why we do this. So we use it as a backup show if we can't do a show. So
yeah, well, we've got 5 more minutes before we really need to close. But I did want to make sure people knew how to get in touch with you. And if they have any questions, they could. And we've got a lot of people saying how much they really enjoyed the show tonight.
thank you, everybody.
That's so sweet. Thank you, guys.
We enjoyed you
wonderful.
guys. Yeah. Lee, get us out of here with our Cherokee prayer.
All right. Well, the first one that I wanted to say is this is a very short one. It's Cherokee. O great spirit who made all races, look kindly upon the whole human family and take away the ignorance and the hate and the arrogance which separates us from our brothers and sisters. And this next one is quite beautiful. This one is, it just says that it's a Native American blessing for peace, love, and kindness. Earth medicine, thank you, Mother, for teaching me to lift my heart in praise, filling my spirit with gladness. For blessings of the beautiful way, you've taught me how to sing, how to rejoice and dance and drum, and how to sing my gratitude for the abundance that will come. You've shown me the magic of a change in mind and heart, an attitude made of wisdom. That celebration of life in part, I sing the truth of thankfulness when I greet grandfather's son, then send my love to Mother Earth for the life force that makes us one.
Oh.
Thank you so much for listening to and watching Family Spirit International.